Welcome to Tech Tuesday. My name is Abbie Richie. I'm the founder of Senior Savvy, and you can find me right here every Tuesday talking with people who are engaged in the lives of senior living residents and just making it better for the older adults in our lives. Before I get started with today's show, I want to thank our sponsors, Fynn.io. And go ahead and visit Fynn.io to learn more about how to improve resident well-being, forecast costs, and drive NOI with Fynn's comprehensive senior living platform. That's Fynn.io. And now let's go ahead and run our intro. And as you all know, today is Tech Tuesday, and I got to tell you, as the host of Tech Tuesday, we do have a fair amount of tech issues. It just comes with the territory. Nonetheless, I am thrilled to be here, and I got to give you a little bit of backgrounder on this topic. So months and months and months ago, when I was on the news, I really wanted to feature this topic of what I was calling toilet tech. No one liked the idea or the name of the smart bathroom home and smart bathroom technology. And I got shot down over and over and again, and I just kind of shoved it, but it still remains so vital and an untapped area that we really need to be focusing on, because so much data is in our bathrooms, and there's such an important amount of technology that's being developed. And that is why I am thrilled to be talking about the smart bathroom technology. And with that said, I want to go ahead and just bring my panel on all at once. We have a great panel for you. We've got Tom Nardone of Dignity Lifts. Welcome. We also have Vic, who's here with us from Toilabs, and we have Austin from Casana Care. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We also have a resident perspective, because truly none of this technology means anything unless it works for the resident, right? And it works for the community. And that's why I have Jack coming on today with the resident experience. And so we gotta hear from everyone, right? So with that said, I want to just go ahead and have people introduce themselves. Tom, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us the problem that you solve, please.
Sure. My name's Tom. I'm from Dignity Lifts. We make toilet lifts, and the problem that toilet lifts solve is that toileting becomes difficult as we age. So our products help people maintain their independence in the bathroom. So that helps the people feel good about themselves. It helps them stay in a more independent living situation longer. And it helps operators use less labor to care for the same people. Everyone gets their privacy and dignity, and it's a wonderful thing to help people in the bathroom.
100%. Thank you. And now I want to talk with Vic from Toilabs. Vic, welcome to Tech Tuesday. Tell us the problem that you solve.
Thank you, Abbie. Yes, so at Toilabs, we have developed the TrueLube toilet seat. It's the first optically scanning toilet seat that analyzes an older resident's output to be able to understand important information about their health. And so we deployed the product throughout North America. We're expanding very rapidly, and we've had a lot of great results with senior living communities across the country.
Awesome. And Austin with Casana Care, please go ahead and tell us about the problem that you solve.
Sure. So we also make a toilet seat. Ours does not do anything with your output, but instead does vital signs monitoring. And so we're able to get key vital signs like heart rate, SpO2, and hopefully in the near future, blood pressure as well from our seat.
Okay, sometimes I don't understand abbreviations, and I assume no one does either. So what did you mention in the middle there between blood pressure and something else?
Blood oxygenation, SpO2.
Okay. All right.
So that's that one that if the number gets low, like that was super important during COVID, that people want to make sure they're tracking that.
Gotcha. Okay, Jack, on first glance, what do you think about these products? And do you have any of them at the community that you live at right now?
Well, to answer the first question, I think these products are great because obviously there's a ton of information there. And I'm a big fan of Shark Tank. And I remember when Squatty Potty came out and they sort of brought this whole topic out of the closet and made it possible for us to talk about the fact that we all have bodies and our bodies have functions. And there's an awful lot of information to be gained. I remember talking with Vic at a leading age meeting in Pasadena about the wonderful information that he's able to gain just from the toileting. The answer to your question, though, I did learn from Japan, and I ordered a seat that I was going to use here, but we weren't able to deploy it because you require a power plug next to in the bathroom, and senior living providers typically don't have that power plug. So that's a barrier to purchase that we need to find a way to get by. It's like the requirement when you buy an electric car, you want to have a special electric outlet. I believe that Chevrolet now will pay to install that outlet for you. So that may be the key. So I think if we could take what Toilabs has, combine it with some of the other seats we have, and really get a product out there that could do the job and a marketing program that works, this could become truly universal. And it would be a godsend for the industry and for all of us who are served by the industry.
Thank you. Vic, do you have any response to that? Oh.
Yes, I do. So actually, a lot of our customers, as people may know, in bathrooms, at least in the United States, there is an outlet in the bathroom. A lot of times it's not next to the toilet, but we have designed our system so that we can actually run a cord up to 30 feet. And many of our customers do this to be able to use the existing outlet that already is there. A lot of our customers do decide to put outlets near the toilet, but that's up to them. But yeah, it absolutely supports the use of the existing outlet.
Just to be clear, Casana's products do not require an outlet. So we take advantage of the fact that the toilet seat's actually pretty big. And so we're using similar technology that you'd find in like a smartwatch, but we have all this space for battery. So the onboard battery inside the seat lasts years, and lasts about the same amount as like a smoke detector. So it goes a really, really long time. So it's not something you have to replace with any frequency.
So Jesse, go ahead, Tom, and then we'll answer Jesse's question.
Jack is right. There is we've seen this issue time and time again. In fact, our most popular toilet lift operates on a rechargeable battery just for that reason. People seek it out because they don't have an outlet near the toilet, and oftentimes it's on the opposite side of the bathroom, and you can't run an extension cord across the floor. So, like Austin said, our battery doesn't last years and years, but it's very large and it lasts over a month of use. So, so we've seen this concern, and fortunately, there's battery technology has just come so long in the last 20 years that you can deploy these batteries that do hard work, like lifting people up and down for 30 days of continuous, of often use. So, love it.
So I wondered.
Sorry, just to mention one more thing on that topic. We found in a lot of our customers, we have a lot of customers that we work with, that they do not want to recharge batteries. That's something that we have heard time and time again. And so, yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. You don't want to have to maintain the product by recharging it.
Yeah. Well, one thing we've heard is that you can leave the lift plugged in at all times. So, and then a lot of our users are home users, and if the power goes out, they don't want to get stuck on the toilet. So there's a few reasons why you'd want to have some sort of battery in our type of system. I know it's not the same as TrueLu, but we're basically like, we're going to strand the people if we don't have some sort of battery backup. They won't be able to get up. So, so this sort of battery system definitely works for us. We make lifts that don't have a battery. This lift here does not, but the ones that do tend to be the bigger sellers.
Great. And I want to backtrack just a tiny bit and answer Jesse's questions about the systems integrating with EHR, EMRs. So the for the residents' wellness, do they do that?
So this is a critical. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, in Casana's case, absolutely. And our product is designed to be monitored and managed by a physician, and actually is prescribed, and hopefully will enable physicians to take advantage of codes that allow them to be reimbursed for their time. But there's a complete end-to-end integration, and the sensor technology that we use should produce readings that are just as reliable as anything a doctor would get in their office, so that they can make decisions about patient care based on data just from the toilet seat alone.
Right, right.
Yeah, just to mention that, a lot of our customers, that's an absolutely critical question. It has to integrate with their systems of record. So we work with all the top systems, including point-click care, and we have specific integrations with them that enable our reports, which have been established by board-certified physicians, the standards around them, to be entered if necessary, as well as other very complex workflows that each individual operator may want to have related to this information to be able to support those. So that is an absolutely critical area, and we have a well-established way of interfacing with these different types of systems. It's critical.
Great question, Jesse.
Let me ask let me ask a quick question here. Do any of you, I'm just thinking that, we go to the bathroom. At my age, you go many times. I won't defend that. But anyway, you get an enormous amount of data. Are any of you using AI to distill that data so that you present the report to the physician who's monitoring that patient, so that just at a glance they can tell whether there's something they should be zoning in on, or do you require the physician's judgment to sort of summarize the data?
So Jack, this is exactly, you've hit on a very important point here. So at Toilabs, we have developed the largest visual database of stool and urine in the world. We've collected more than 1.2 million sessions. And then we use board certified physicians who establish standards, which then train the AI to become better and better. And we liken it to a team essentially of top quality doctors that are peering into your toilet bowl every day to understand what important changes are happening to your health. We take things that are already well established in the practice of medicine, but we bring them in a way using AI so that it can be brought right down into your day-to-day life. So there's, and the way that it's done today, and this is what our first set of clinical studies demonstrated, can be much improved when you bring automation and computerization to this problem.
Great. Thank you so much for answering that. I want to ask you all right now, how do you get over the awkwardness of talking about the toilet and the data that it collects? Do you have any tips for me?
You just got to fall in love with it and realize that it's actually one of the few things that brings everybody together. There's nobody here and nobody that you talk to that hasn't used a toilet and won't use one in probably the next 24 hours. So in that sense, like, it brings everyone together. I got to call out Vic for, like, that's some seriously colorful imagery there about doctors peering into the bowl. But, yeah, like we joke a lot about, like, cheeks down and collecting data when people are using the toilet. But it's actually a great thing when you run a business that does this stuff, that everybody who ends up working for you, either they got to be excited and all about it, or they're not going to take the job. So you end up with a really passionate team, and it just doesn't matter.
Love it.
One of our physicians likes to say, with each passing day, you're going to become more and more interested and concerned about your bowel movements. And, I think this is just a fact of life. And one of the things we like to do is we like to emphasize really the benefits that this can have, you know, and contrast them to if you did not have this technology. Would you be able to see early signs of key changes that could have major impacts on your life, potentially even save your life? Is it worth the trade-off? And what we found is that everyone who we work with, and we work with a lot of folks, has said, look, it's absolutely worth the trade-off.
Good.
I have also, I agree with Vic and Austin, that you find your tribe in this type of business. Like I do a number of trade shows. I do about a dozen trade shows a year and can talk to 500 people a day at these trade shows. And I've seen Vic at some of them. And some people want to talk about toileting and other people have no interest. And the people that have no interest in talking about toileting aren't ever going to help anyone in the bathroom. But the people who do want to talk about toileting are the exact people that will help someone out. And that's our tribe. That's who we want to work with. And that's who's going to change the world and change their patients' lives. So, and I love those people. They're hilarious. They're fun to talk to. It's sort of a silly topic. We don't have to take ourselves 100% seriously. And I am really enjoying the business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to take a,
I want to add one point there that I think that in Casana's world, we're really trying to bridge that gap and take an activity that people normally do outside the bathroom, like take their blood pressure or check their blood oxygenation and heart rate, and show that we can automate that task so that it doesn't take up any time of their day by installing something in their bathroom and, you know, meeting people where they would be anyways.
So smart. Makes so much sense. Jack, did you want to say something?
I couldn't help but think that a great marketing pitch would be to publish a bestseller of potty jokes and get your message across in there so that the whole topic comes out of the closet, so to speak, the water closet, and becomes something that we can talk about. I mean, this is something that we're going to need. Do any of you have a for SNFs, for skilled nursing facilities, do any of you have a bed to bathroom mechanism that just seamlessly does the whole job throughout? You were talking about the fact that the absence of convenient plugs means a lot of it is battery driven. It seems to me that you could turn a negative into a positive by just having something that reduces the two-person transfer, the whole nursing burden, and really gets the job done. Have any of you put together something that does that?
Let me pause the conversation right now. We're going to take a quick break. Give you some time to think about it, and then I'll bring you right back. Because right now, I just want to say thank you to Fynn.io for sponsoring the show, and we've got a word from Fynn right now.
You can invest a lot of money and continually hire care staff, the best that you can possibly find. But if they become frustrated or if they don't have access to the right information to do their job well, they're very likely going to move on to another location. So if you can give them an environment where all the information that they need is readily available and they're rewarded for doing a good job, recognized for doing a good job, and they feel personally valued at that job, then they will stick around. They will perform better. They will build better relationships with the residents and the resident families, and you will ultimately have a better living situation.
Go ahead and bring everyone back. And right before we took a break, Jack wanted to ask about transferring, which I think is a great topic as well. Anyone have a quick answer for that?
Dignity Lifts is working on something interesting. We just launched it about 6 months ago at the ISS International Seating Symposium. And I'm not sure if people are familiar, but there's Hoyer lifts. That's level 1 mobility patients who have no bodily control are great for Hoyer lifts. They're in a sling and you can lift them out of the bed and to wherever they need to go. But there's a level of mobility called level 2, which is people that have trunk control. They can sit upright, but they can't stand at all. And we have a new product called the Helper Lift that essentially it's like human forklift. That's the best way I can describe it. It can pick someone up from the bedside, and it can transfer them to a shower chair, to a toilet, to a dining room chair, to an easy chair or a couch in the living room. And it allows people a lot more mobility than a Hoyer lift would offer them. And it is operated by one person. So since it's a single person transfer, it makes it so a spouse or someone in the home or even a single caregiver, even one on lift restrictions, can handle a person and help them stay, mobile in the home. So that's called the helper lift. You'll find it at dignitylifts.com.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Anyone else want to answer that before we move on?
It's a bit outside our wheelhouse.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I want to ask you guys, where do you see the future of this heading?
I mean, I think in our case, it's really expanding the vital sign monitoring. And so any of those different things that a doctor might ask you to track on a regular basis, the ability to track them from the toilet seat is a huge opportunity. And so this makes sense in skilled nursing facilities. It makes sense in senior care. There's actually a lot of opportunity in high-risk pregnancy, a bunch of different places where tracking these vital signs over time becomes really, really valuable. And the fact that we can do it without taking time out of anybody's day is the big differentiator.
Stool and urine are incredibly valuable from a healthcare standpoint. In fact, if you were to look after blood, I think it could be argued that in the current practice of medicine, understanding stool and urine is absolutely critical. And so for us, we see our ability, because the only place where you can analyze stool and urine is at the toilet. And so we see ourselves really going deeper into understanding not only the things that we can do today, but also a number of things we can do in the future as it relates to understanding our waste in order to provide insight into what's going on inside our bodies. Longer term, we see the bathroom as being really the place in the home where healthcare is measured, managed, and delivered. And we see ourselves as being, really the technology player that can help derive a lot of that insight that is happening as people want to age in place and want to use their home as a place where healthcare occurs. And so we have a number of products, some of which we have publicly discussed that we think are going to be very important in making that transformation happen.
We see the future of caregiving and of operating care facilities as increasingly the labor is going to be increasingly priced out of some of these operations. So we see an increased mechanization of care. I know everybody's waiting for robots to come and save us and do everything for us, but I think that's unrealistic. I think what we're really going to see is an increased number of little gadgets and appliances that do things for us, like help stand us up, or in the bidet case, help wash us. We have a bidet with a blow dryer that also is for people that can't reach, so it dries them when they're done. So these small operations that are part of our ADLs, our activities of daily living, need to be taken care of. The labor cost is going sky high right now. The people are leaving to work for more wages in fast food, and we need something to sort of pick up the slack, not at the nurse level, but at the CNA level. And I see just a lot of mechanization taking over that in the near future.
I like that. Thank you. What's the cost? I want to ask you what I call the Steve Moran
I think
question.
you're right.
I'm sorry, Jack, did I cut you off?
Well, I just wanted to say, I think you guys are on the cutting edge. Am I on or? Okay.
Yes.
I think you guys are really on the cutting edge of things. When it comes to aging people, Japan is in the lead because they've got a bigger bulge, but we're facing that. It's coming our way, and we have to do something about it. So the kitchen in the house is we're in a independent living apartment is the food center. I think the bathroom is going to be the health center. I think you're just beginning to reinvent the entire bathroom experience to make it part of the healthcare delivery program that becomes simply more intense as people age. And if, as Tom noted, if we can take this work away from the CNAs some of the most distasteful work that they have and make it a pleasant part of the day. We can make that an attractive profession, and we can really uplift senior living in this country. I think you guys are on the cutting edge. Keep innovating, keep driving it, and keep trying to persuade the providers that technology is positive and not just a cost sink.
Jack, what you're
thank
saying
you.
is so inspiring. Sorry, just to interject here, but what you're saying is so inspiring in that, you know, the care staff are the people who are on the front lines who have to do the things that can really affect the dignity of the residents. And so being able, for example, to eliminate the need to talk about toileting, to have someone accompany you and look into your toilet and then document information about that, that's really a game changer, both for the care staff themselves in terms of their quality of life, but also the dignity of the residents.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it goes beyond dignity, and it's a case of actually better managing chronic conditions and living longer, healthier lives. And so in cases where people are able to, you know, monitor their blood pressure on a regular basis, on average, if they can control it, they'll live 5 years longer. And so we really think about the work that we do every day at Casana around saving lives and extending lives. And it really can be that vital.
Yeah, you know, I know we haven't given much time to this particular topic of the bidet, but Tom, you mentioned it, right? And so I know when I have visited residents in their apartments, many of them have them. What's the cost of doing something like that? And for the other solution providers here, what's the cost of installing your product?
Sure. I'll start. The bidet we offer is integrated into a lift, so it's part of a larger system. And it's complex because we have to move all of the plumbing up and down as the lift goes up and down. So while our normal lift is $1,499, our bidet lift is $2,999. And we incorporated it. We have met a lot of people that have bidets already. So when they add a lift, they don't want to give up the bidet. But also a lot of our customers don't have the ability to turn or reach and wipe. And since they can't reach or wipe, they can't dry themselves after using a bidet. So we had to incorporate a blow dryer into the process as well. And I think you're going to see more and more of that bidet blow dryer combination in senior facilities, just because you can't leave people damp. They're going to have fungal issues and skin issues if you do. So I think there's blow dryer bidets on the market for about $500. Installation of these things is not particularly difficult. You do need an electric outlet near your toilet for the water heater and the blow dryer. But other than that, the installation of a toilet lift is about a 20-minute process and can be done by any handyman. So typically at a facility, they won't look to us for installation. They'll just have their typical handy person do it.
Okay. And Vic, how about Toilabs? What's the cost to the facility?
Sure, we have a very simple and transparent pricing model. So we charge between $35 to $45 per seat per month. And this is much lower than a lot of other products, for example, like fall detection technologies that are in use. And it's really a fraction of the human care cost associated with providing this without Truly. And so with that pricing, it's complete. We provide everything. We provide the seat itself. We stand by the seat itself. It integrates with other types of commode risers. It works. It's compatible with certain bidets as well that we can integrate into the system. It includes the integration into the EHR, which we already have done with top EHRs. It includes access to our clinical team. And it also provides daily and weekly reports that the system has validated. So that's our pricing model, and it's pretty simple.
Thank you. Austin, how about you?
Our product is a prescribed medical device, and so it should come at no cost to the actual patient themselves.
Got it. Well, I'm sure everybody likes that idea, right? So, guys, if you want to, sorry, go ahead, Jack. Did you want to say something? I want to.
No, I didn't. I was having a funny thought. I'm older than most of you, so I remember earlier ad campaigns. And back in the 1940s, Church was the biggest manufacturer of toilet seats, and they advertised. Church is sort of an odd name for a toilet seat, but they advertised it as Church, the best seat in the house. So that was my thought. But I think there's so much potential in potty jokes. I hope somebody picks up the idea of publishing a bestseller of potty jokes and taking it out of the closet and making it acceptable for us to talk about.
We will see about that. Gentlemen, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you to find out more?
I think just visit our website, casanacare.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Austin. Thank you. And Vic, how about you?
Yeah, same way. Toilabs.com, TOILABS.com.
Perfect. And Tom?
I'm jumping right on the bandwagon. DignityLifts.com. It's got all our products plus videos and explainers and answers to whether or not a lift will fit in your bathroom and whether it'll work with your toilet.
Wonderful. And Jack, in case anyone wants to collaborate with you on this book that you're writing, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, the easiest way would be through Senior Living Foresight, since I do write for them, but I do also have Jack Cummings at actionaging.com.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I want to thank those who chatted in today with their comments, and I'll be sure to include the comments when I repost this tomorrow. I also want to thank our guests and our sponsor for today, Fynn.io. And we will see you all back here next week for another episode of Tech Tuesday. Thank you.